creative tea sector.
The Independent Tea Producers Association brings together licensed green leaf tea processors across the country to provide a platform for sharing tea industry matters and accounts for 20% of the national annual tea production. Focusing on this subsector of the tea industry, of which Kenya Tea Development Authority is the other main player, the independent tea producers account for 36% of the small-scale tea farmers' production. The membership currently comprises 20 tea factories spread across the country from east and west of the rift.
About 96% of our green leaf supply comes from the smallholder tea farmers. And it's to this extent that we look at modalities and policies that would actually be able to support the small-scale tea farmer to be able to get decent income and be able to maintain the sustainability of the tea industry in the long term.
In an effort to address the steep decline in tea prices in the recent years, Collins Cheriot, chair of the Independent Tea Producers Association, notes that they support steps set forth by the government to increase minimum pricing at the auction.
We would like a situation where the entire value chain is made sustainable and not one end of the value chain. As we speak at the moment, I think the people who are actually carrying the weight and the burden of sustaining the industry is the farmers and the producers like us.
To tap more from this subsector, Paris Madida, acting CEO of the Tea Board of Kenya, says that there is a need to offer more diversified varieties of tea other than the crushed tea and culled tea at the auction.
As we all know, the black CTCs have been in overproduction for the last few years, and we are looking at how to grow the specialty teas within our country so that then we can be able to deal with the increased volumes of black CTC.
The tea subsector has created employment opportunities for over 650,000 smallholder farmers, bringing in 120 billion shillings annually in foreign exchange, all this courtesy of stakeholders collaborating. Agriculture Cabinet Secretary Peter Munya says cooperation in the sector is critical in growing returns for the stakeholders.
The purpose for this meeting is to show that solidarity, that we are all working together. It is in the interest of the industry that prices in Mombasa improve. That is the message we wanted to send today. The prices are affecting not just the KTDA farmers, it's also affecting independent producers like yourselves.
The Ministry of Agriculture is in talks with KTDA and other government institutions to increase storage capacities of tea since it has a shelf life of 3 years. Increased storage facilities for tea will translate into better prices at the auction.
Issues of fertilizer and what we can do to work with and to work together with you again to make sure that prices are not too high to impact on the production, the cost of production.
Key stakeholders, including the Ministry of Agriculture, are working on modalities of lowering the cost of tea production in the country.
As your chairman said, you have different models that are informed by different factors and different forecasts. But we will need to work out a framework that also introduces a minimum element of pricing for your teas that are produced by independent tea producers.
The agriculture sector, especially dairy, coffee, tea and sugarcane farming, has in the recent past seen reforms aimed at bringing in more income to the farmers.
Well, psychos have been advised to embrace technology and